Hello everyone, this is the Mgtow Cowboy. Greetings and salutations. This evening I want to bring to you a response video that I am making in response to a gentleman in the community. His name is Red Mind Man. I'll say that again, Red Mind Man. I listened to this video twice straight through. It's a really long video. It's like 25 minutes. So this video is going to be really long. It's going to be like, half an hour, maybe longer. I'm going to make quick little... It's going to be a response video. I'm going to be making comments all the way through. What I want to say to you, Red Mind Man, is, yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from. This is very deep stuff. Abusive women can destroy you. And I think they want to destroy you. They do. And I think your wife is I remember your story. I've interviewed you. I think your wife is a very abusive woman. I think she knows what she's doing. I think, for example, this little emoji that you're going to be talking about, it's on purpose. This is passive-aggressive behavior. And for my advice, see, I think that you experienced this abuse a couple years ago, and I think that I experienced the same type of abuse or abuses, but it was much longer ago. It was much further in the past. And yes, I think you hit on something very important, and I'll bring it up later in the video. But just to foreshadow right now, you talk about letting go. I'm telling you, I know this sounds sick. You want to get to the point where you don't even think of her anymore. That's where you're going to get back to your happiness. You're going to get back to your happy place. When these people are living in your mind, rent-free, so to speak, you're in a bad place. You can lose your mind. I have lost my mind over this kind of stuff. I'm glad I didn't moita. I'm glad I didn't moita anyone. Anyway, this is gonna be a good video. This is a response video to Red Mind Man. I think this one is Smileys and Socks. Here we go.
Hey, gents.
Hey, what's up, Red Mind Man?
Today I want to talk about
what are we talking
morale
about?
hits.
Morale.
So,
you feeling depressed?
Thought I'd bring you out here again.
It's beautiful.
To join me on one of my walks.
It's beautiful, man.
Today's one of my kind of setback days, I guess you could say.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
And I'm realizing just how sensitive or volatile I am.
Yeah, human frailty is real.
I don't like admitting that.
No, that's true.
That's something that I always got put down for growing up. The phrase,
you do come off as overly
just too sensitive.
You do come off as overly sensitive, but that's okay. Just try to toughen up a little bit, that's all.
And it's a process. All of us have those things from our past that
it could also be a part of your personality.
Seem to just not go away,
You could just be a little bit more sensitive than others. I am. But I was just abused so much by my father, I grew a thick skin.
Today my morale hits.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Came in some pretty petty ways.
Your wife is still abusing you, huh?
Today I dropped off my son.
Let's hear about it.
At his mom's daycare. And at first I didn't really think I felt anything. And there's just that petty bullshit, you have to deal with.
It's the small things.
Anytime you have a co-parenting situation. Now in my case, luckily most of the time when I drop him off, I don't even see her.
Thank God.
But
you want to get to a point where you never
you want
to get to a point where you never think about her.
Setting it up in a way where she never has any of.
All right, I'm going to pause it right there. Just quickly, Red Mind Man, I listened to this video twice straight through. I already know, what you're going to talk about. Let me just say it right now. I know this sounds terrible, but it's true. You want to get to a point where you don't even think of her, where entire days, entire weeks go by, and the thought of this woman does not cross your mind. And I know, and I speak from experience, I think that you and I, in certain ways, in a way, we went through similar experiences. But I think I went through them many years before you did. You got divorced a couple years ago, which was terrible. I'm sorry. But I've experienced female nature since my adolescence. And I'm sorry to say this. This is terrible to say, but it's true. One by one. First, my sister Jessica, and then my sister Olivia, and then my mom, and then my stepmom and my half-sister, and then finally my father. In that order, I have pushed these people out of my life. Of course, there's two sides to every story, and they're going to say, oh, well, Joe wasn't rich. Joe didn't make any money in his 20s. Yeah, well, I'm in my 30s now, and I'm making money. So, what I'm trying to say is they, in my opinion, they're gonna try to blame me and say that they didn't do anything wrong. But the real truth is, my family is extremely abusive. My father cheated on my mom. My stepmom cheated on my dad multiple times with multiple different men. All my sisters were, they're women. They're hardcore feminists. My stepmother is a hardcore feminist. My mother, my stepmother, all three of my sisters, they're hardcore feminists. And they're like rich white women. They're, very, big city, very liberal, very feminist. They have these ideas that, they're totally equal. And they're not, but they think that. And they're frankly very nasty and abusive. And I've been experiencing this for years. There was a time when I deeply loved them. And that's why it hurts so much. But what I have found, as terrible as this is to say, I don't think about my sisters anymore. I mean that. I really mean that. Days, weeks and weeks go by. I don't even think about them. And I can tell you, I'm happier for it. I was in a very dark place when I was constantly thinking about, if I can just, my sister Olivia, if I can just do something, if I could say something, if I could just do something to win back her love and her respect. And no, that was wrong. That was wrong thinking. I shouldn't have to do anything to at least enjoy a modicum of respect from her. The problem is she didn't want to respect me. And now that I have a much deeper understanding of psychology, I understand that there are multiple reasons why they would show you why women are abusive to you. They purposely disrespect you. They purposely abuse you. Some of them like it. Others do it to try to manipulate you. If you do what they say, they'll throw you a bone. They'll be nice to you. They'll show you a little respect. But the second you don't do as you are not servile as a good slave, well, then all of a sudden you're in the doghouse again. They're treating you like trash. They shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be treating you that way in the first place. Especially once you figure out what they're doing and you bring it up to them after that. It's not even exploitation. It's a form of oppression. But anyways, the point is, I had a falling out with pretty much every single one of my family members. I love them deeply. You know what ended up happening? I don't love them anymore. And I don't think about them anymore. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's for the good. And I think that I'm happier now. Now that I literally weeks and in some cases months go by. I don't even think of my sisters anymore. I used to think of them every day. You want to get to that point. I'm sorry to go on a harangue here, but okay, continuing on.
My son's belongings that I buy for him, I basically have gotten it to where she sends him and whatever she provides him for, and then
with all that
and then I wash it
with all that child
in the
support,
laundry and send him back.
All that child
dressed
support.
however he came.
Think of all that money.
Because at the end of the day, I'd rather be the one that has to keep track of everything than try to rely on her to do that. So, a couple weeks ago, when I got my son, she dropped him off, and it was a pair of socks, okay? Really petty.
It's the small things.
But the pair of socks was too small, and it had holes. And so...
And she stole all that money from you, you know. Don't forget.
The last time I dropped him off, so I guess 2 weeks ago. Last time I dropped him off, he was kind of having a rough morning and was crying.
Yeah.
He was crying about his socks, saying he didn't want to wear the holy too small socks. He wanted to wear the socks that I got for him because he liked them better. And, you know, I was pressed for time as usual, trying to get to work, but I had to drop him off beforehand. So, luckily I didn't take out the frustration on him. I caught myself and I was like, yeah, buddy, yeah, wear the black socks.
Yeah, that's
You don't have to wear the gray socks.
That's good. That's good. Try not to take it out on him.
And it was frustrating to me. It's like, really? You get the monthly support? You have no excuse to be sending him in ill-fitting, worn-out clothing, you know?
You think she cares?
It's like, why couldn't she just send him in something that fits?
Because she doesn't care.
Why does she have to put him through that completely avoidable, unnecessary discomfort? It's just because she's lazy.
Selfish.
You know? Lazy and inattentive.
There you go. Mother of the year.
So it was frustrating to me. But as usual, I bit the bullet. I took the high road, and I basically just told her, hey, I sent him. He's wearing socks I bought for him.
Yeah, you took the high road?
Please return them.
You took the high road?
At the next exchange.
Where did that get you? Look where that got
Pretty
you.
painless, you know?
Yeah.
And at the next exchange, he came with without my socks.
So she didn't return them.
And so today, when I sent him back, I said, hey, just a reminder, I didn't receive the black socks.
You should not have sent that reminder.
And she responds back and says something like, oh yeah, they're washed and folded and ready to give back to you. It just slipped my mind.
No, it didn't. She did it on
last
purpose.
week.
She did it on purpose.
But I'll be sure to give them this next time. And then she put a little smiley face there.
That means fuck you. That means I got you. I got you again.
I recognize this is really petty bullshit.
I got you.
Stuff
again.
that most of us men don't want to have to think about or deal with.
I got you again.
But it's the kind of petty bullshit that the state and these women force our noses in every time we see our kids, or almost every time.
Well, it's your great-great-grandfather's fault. We gave them rights.
The morale hit for me kind of came in two separate pieces. It was first that she couldn't provide decent socks for my son. Not that she couldn't, it's that she wouldn't.
That's just poor
provide
parenting. That's just poor
socks.
That's just poor
parenting. Son.
That's just poor parenting. The real fucked up thing is.
And then today, it wasn't even the response. It wasn't the back and forth. It wasn't the, I've got them washed and folded. It was that damned smiley face.
Yeah.
At the end of the message.
Yeah. She's living
like, why do you have to send that?
To get you. To say fuck you.
We're not on friendly terms, you know?
She knows that.
It was just that realization of like,
fuck you.
I don't want your goddamn pleasantries.
She knows.
You make my life miserable. Keep your fucking smiles to yourself.
She knows that. That's why she sent it. She's saying, fuck you.
And it's those little things that just sort of chip away at your sanity after a while. It's like...
But it's also you just knowing that
I don't want to have to deal with this, you know?
That's a mental attack.
I'd be just fine if I never saw her and never heard from her again.
She knows she's taking...
Like, I hate her voice. I hate her voice.
Yeah, you should.
I hate the way she writes to me. I hate the fact that I have to send my son to her.
You're also having to pay her money, you know, like a slave, you know? That sucks.
Like, she could disappear for all I care. I wouldn't shed a tear if she disappeared. The only tear I might shed would be indirect, and that would be simply because I care about my son's comfort, and he...
All right, let me pause it right there. Okay, then why the fuck did you marry her? Now, I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you at all. And I'm going to answer why you married her. Because you were lied to. Your parents lied to you, and her parents lied to you, and... basically all of society lied to you. And people like Barbarossa or Stardust or Angry Harry or Chapin's Inferno or the thinking man's Templar or any number of these Mgtow, they were not able to reach you until it was too late. And then so you're just another man who was sacrificed at the altar of female supremacy. And you're having a certain portion of your life destroyed. And you have to sit there and take it. And you will. And I had to take it. You know? It happened to me too. It sucks. That's what happened. You were victimized. That's what happened. And this is just, this is just something about humanity. Until enough men have been burned, is there going to be change? I am absolutely convinced. Women are not going to change this. Women love it like this. It's men who are going to change this, and it's going to be a long process. And our institutions have been subverted for a long time, and right under our noses, all these laws have come in, and now you're a second-class citizen. Your great-grandfather, your great-great-great-grandfather, who, however, your 20 years, 20, 40, 60, your great-great-great-great-grandfather, who, was one of the men maybe who who gave women the right to vote, they didn't know that women would do this to us. But it doesn't matter, because they did. Because they did give women rights, and then women did get rights, and then women started using those rights, and now men are second-class citizens. They didn't know what they were doing, but they did it anyway, and now we are reaping the benefits or the disaster that is female empowerment. And I'm sorry, you're one of the you are one of the hapless victims, and there are many. Remember, what are there, like 800,000? I think there's over 800,000 divorces in America annually. Half of those are men. That's 400,000. See, they pick us off, right? There's hundreds of millions of men. There's 350, give or take 10 million. There's at least, 350, 360 million Americans. Half of those are men. But they only get, only 400,000 men get picked off every year. I'm sorry. No, you were lied to. You were lied to. That's what it is. And it's just the realization of that and learning to accept that. And that is hard. And it happened to me. What I'd recommend is you want to get to a point where you don't think about that woman anymore. And remember, your own mom, your mother, your father, her father, they're all in on it. They're all in on it.
Loves her, despite how I feel. That's the tear I would shed, would be on his behalf. As far as I'm concerned, she can go to hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's those little morale hits,
As very demoralizing.
You know, as if bankrupting me wasn't enough, I have to give you support every month.
She raped your mind.
And no, it's not a huge sum of money, but it's definitely enough to put freaking socks on my kids' feet, for God's sake.
No. It's about the money, too. No, she's fucking you. Even now, she's fucking you. She should be paying you.
You can't be bothered to do that.
She should be paying you.
You know, priorities. And my frustration, it doesn't come from expectations, because I have none for her anymore, you know?
Yeah, but you used to.
I expect the worst.
No, she shattered your dreams.
My frustration comes from the standard I hold myself to, you know? And I've got room to grow, of course, but I generally don't leave loose ends. I'm very thorough. I dot my I's and cross my T's.
Yeah, but these standards...
And I'm really careful not to get petty, not to get caught up in the bullshit, you know?
These standards are based on false... you were not given proper information. You weren't told about...
There's just those days where it's like...
You weren't told about...
Keep your goddamn pleasantries to yourself. We're not on friendly terms. Fuck off. You know?
Nah, she knows. She knows what she's doing, trust me. I have 3 sisters.
And maybe it's just on me. Maybe I'm just in a bad mood today or something.
Yeah, maybe. But it gets
Why couldn't she be bothered to return the stuff I buy for him? It's not like she needs it or anything.
Maybe it's on purpose, so she can get at you.
And I didn't want your goddamn smiley face.
But she knows that. That's why she sent it. It's
I don't want to know how life's peachy.
It's a passive-aggressive attack on you, bro.
Because it's not for me. And it won't be. For the foreseeable future.
Right, because she's got her hooks in you. It's, you know that child support court thing, you know? You know that slavery?
It's that kind of stuff, you know? It's just the double standard. It's like, why the hell are you smiling anyway? Why are you smiling?
Because she knows. Smile at me. Because she knows she's fucking you. And she likes that. Because she's evil.
And then it's just the subsequent waterfall of realizations after that, you know? It's like,
you mean the red pill rage? Yeah. How you're being screwed? How she lied?
Oh, you can smile because you're over it. You're over me. You're over everything.
She is over it. Women
I'm not even an afterthought. Like, I'm a nothing. I'm not even an afterthought, you know?
Women are biologically...
Like, I'm not even in the back of people's minds at this point.
That hurts, I know.
I'm post-discardation.
You get used to it.
I'm in the landfill.
Nah, it's not that
I'm not
bad.
even the stinking dumpster.
You feel like you don't have meaning in your life. Because your meaning was based on being important to these people. And now these people, you figure out that these people don't really love you.
The morale hits.
Yeah, it hurts.
All the subsequent realizations after a goddamn emoji.
She's physiologically
the realization
incapable.
Of being
she's physiologically incapable of loving you.
Post thrown away.
Women move on like that.
The realization that I'm not even an afterthought. And it's not to her. I recently got a comment, something to the effect of, in time, she will no longer live rent-free in your mind. And I'm telling you guys, like...
Yeah. You want to stop that.
I don't think about her very much anymore.
Good.
And that's progress.
That is progress. Damn right.
It's just those times where it's completely unavoidable. I can't get away from her anymore. You know, it's that constant ripping off of the scab. It's like, for God's sake, I haven't talked to you for 2 months. Like, why can't you just remember his fucking socks?
So she can get at you, dog.
Because I don't want to talk about her. I don't want to think about her. I don't want to have to write a fucking message.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to be on pins and needles.
You wish you can just forget her. I know.
But see, she doesn't have to operate like that.
No.
Life is peachy.
For her,
she can send happy face emojis.
All that free money she getting from you. All those lies.
No, just keep it professional and leave me the hell alone.
No. She wants to make it personal. That's the real truth.
Again, I'm not frustrated because I expected any of that of her. I'm just frustrated because I have to still deal with it. I still have to feel the scab getting ripped off from time to time, you know? I can't avoid it. I have to deal with it. See, she can avoid it. What I'm feeling is the fact that I am accountable. I'm accountable for all the shit she pulled. I'm accountable for it. She's not.
And everyone knows that.
She gets to go on as if nothing happened.
And there's, yeah.
And I just have to sit here.
And take it.
Month after month, getting my scabs ripped off.
Or you can overthrow.
That's what hurts.
Or you can
it's
overthrow.
Not the stupid smiley face.
Or you can overthrow the government. But no one wants to do that because the first 500,000 men are going to get shot. We're in between a rock and a hard place. You're enslaved. You're enslaved.
So I kind of had to get out here and go on a walk. Clear my mind.
I'm sorry. If I were in your position, I'd probably commit suicide.
I'm not even on the back burner. I'm not even an afterthought. I was thinking about that more, you know. I've been discarded by my ex. I've been discarded by my ex-in-laws. I've been discarded by my own blood family. I've been discarded by multiple churches.